Good evening, everyone. My name is Alberto in Spanish. In English, it's Albert. This is my show. It's called Vlogs About Nothing. Thank you very much to all the new people that have been tuning in, and special shout out to Lex. How's it going? That wasn't weird. I'm just saying hi for the record. I hope that you watch the videos, and thank you for subscribing. It was only a few days. And for the record, if you just wanted food from Gardenios, just let me know and I'll send you a DoorDash. No problem. So I hope that you guys are doing really good. I think that you liked fried ice cream and chimichanga or something. I don't know. Both are really good though. So if that's what you wanted, let me know. Anyways, I hope that you guys are doing really well. I know that myself, I'm doing good. Don't no, nobody worry about me. I'll always be just fine. Trust me. I'll make it. It'll be fine. But I do want to talk about some people tonight that aren't fine. And I want to be as amicable as possible, but at the same time, I want to like keep it real. You feel me? In that I am an honest person, and one thing that I really, really am a strong proponent against is just like general thievery and scams and people feeding my stream all day with these wild assumptions on how to make large amounts of money, and just the kind of pervasive ideology that is in some ways permissible, I'd argue, here in this country, but nonetheless still completely wrong, and people need to be called out on it. So, this is to my scammer from Facebook Marketplace today. Listen, tonight I want to talk about things that you can do to prevent yourself from being as stupid as I was today. And so let's quickly go through some of those things, okay? And then I wish there was a name to the account that got some of my personal info, but let me tell you, there's no better running record than what goes on in a person's life, with the exception of daily vlogs. So, I mean, I don't know, at least I have that going for me. But regardless, so earlier I'm on Facebook, right? And I'm trying to sell something, whatever. A lot of people do this. I'm not the only one. And I am typically pretty good at vetting. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about selling things online and how to vet people. So, anytime, especially in particular Facebook Marketplace, I taught this to my crazy grandma ex-girlfriend last year, and I'd be happy to share this information with all of you guys as well, including that very same crazy grandma who I have a sneaky suspicion watches my videos. Nonetheless, I know you don't leave any thumbs up, because why would you? But still, bring me back my movies. I'm gonna say this publicly until one day there's a toad outside with 300 videos in it, because that's what you owe me, girl. A lot more than that, but we'll settle on the movies. Regardless, just another scammer, although we called those kind of scammers gold diggers. I mean, seriously, if you're with somebody because, like, of what they can do for you, like, what they can buy for you, you're, like, so far off from living a normal and happy life that I feel bad for you. You shouldn't just be with somebody because, like, they give you stuff. Because, I mean, that's what we all have parents for. And I mean, I'm not in that ballpark, but typically parents are supposed to be nice and good to their children, as it concerns when they're adults specifically too. So I mean, I don't know, just saying, just throwing that out there. But regardless, scamming is one of those things that's super sus and super shady, and just like what kind of a future do you want if you're just going to go around scamming people? So to vet people on Facebook, obviously when you get the message and the little ding from your messenger and you open it up and it looks like a real person just based on the conversation, there's still more that you have to do to make sure that, well, the bots are out of the way. So now you got to worry about something more nefarious than robots out stealing your information, which is human beings actually trying to make your life an even worse life than it could already possibly be. And I say this with such a grain of salt, right? But like, how good can 80% of Americans' lives be when we don't have $500 in case of an emergency, or none of us have adequate health care insurance, or seniors are losing their benefits because they make $10 to $13 more than they did the year before, so they're getting nixed out of Medicare and Medicaid. Like, there's scammers out there, and I always feel like we try to place the blame on generative AI or bots or any other kind of other digital influence, but keep in mind that there's no such thing, so far as we know currently, of a sentient AI, you know? So the reasoning that's like all of the bad things that still happen on the internet are a direct result of other human beings making a decision to try and exploit you. Like there wasn't already enough exploitation going on outside the confines of our homes, our dociles, our screens, whatever, you know? I mean, have you looked outside? Anyways, scammers suck. And seriously, if you're out there scamming people, like, stop. Think about what you're doing and stop. Because it's like, at the very least, it's unappealing, and you're gonna end up like in one of those places where there's bars and other grumpy grown adults making sure that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, which is not causing other people harm. So, like, you know, I mean, the option is to cause people harm and end up where you belong, or to stop. Just stop what you're doing. I mean, how many people, criminals, scammers, perpetrators of crimes, like, how many of you out there, like, simply just can't stop? Because if you can't, then that's weird. That's a weird thing. People make mistakes. People do stupid stuff, but stop what you're doing. You feel me? Like, it's not in anyone's best interest. I mean, seriously, the dark web already has every single American's most personal details. Like, you don't believe me? Sign up for LifeLock yourself, which is another thing. So you want to vet people. You want to make sure that, just be even based on the conversation that they're having with you, and you've established that they're not bots or some nefarious AI programmed by humans, but like it's an actual human, which again makes it even more interesting because you actually have to click on their avatar picture, and then you have to see if they have an active profile on Facebook, and then even more than that, you got to see if they actually have real friends, or if, like in today's example, when I did not vet somebody and I looked at their profile and it was 700 randos from all over the world that had absolutely nothing to do with the person. And it's like, seriously, I mean, Facebook is one thing for allowing this kind of this stuff to happen, right? But like, I mean, I've heard of policing the internet for like 30 years now, and I'm 37, and still there's no adequate policing of the internet as it concerns the surface web and a direct entity that's responsible for the governance of that very thing. I mean, you can imagine in the last 30 years, Trump made a new military branch. I mean, there is the United States Space Force, but yet we don't have any online entity to protect consumers from vindictive authoritarian people who want to sell and broker all of our data to other people around the world, so that, I don't know, somebody in Kazakhstan is going to be named Albert Gian and 36 years old with my phone number. And it's sort of like, that's weird. Does anybody not, can we not stop this, or do we just choose to not stop it, which would be even more strange? Regardless, I guess this country's done even more strange things. Have you heard of the WikiLeaks? Anyone ever hear about the fact that our government spies on absolutely everything we say without our consent? I mean, this isn't exactly a utopian kind of a setup here. Uncle Sam and Uncle Anthony still demand very many things from us that if we are not willing to provide, well, then Uncle Sam and Uncle Anthony are willing to provide all of our meals and services for us via some cell block. Oh goodness, things get dark real quick here. Anyways, I just seriously, getting scammed sucks, and I just, I'm a normal person, and I'm sure every other content creator out there is as well. as it concerns, like, when the camera goes off or whatever, and we're trying to sell a rocking chair on Facebook, like normal stuff, because I understand that by any other standard of the definition, it might not be normal to get such an enthusiastic thrill from talking to yourself in front of the phone, like as long as I do, without any sort of feedback from my subs, because I've chosen to just be an entertainer. I mean, put yourself in my shoes. Anyways, I just shout out to the scammers. You feel me? Shout out to the scammers. Like, I will never understand the justification for what you do, and even if that justification is the world that we live in, well, like, here's some sound advice. Make the world a better place. You feel me? Like, instead of committing crimes and making other people's experiences in life the absolute worst, be a better person and just, like, work on changing what's around you, because it's totally possible. Totally possible. Just as it is as easy for you to commit crimes and be scammers and be shady and cheat on your spouses and get married just so that you can get divorced 15 years later. Think about what you do before you do it. You know what I mean? And if you do that, I was reminded today by a really close, one of my really good acquaintance, right? Really my best friend, right? It's just like, if you can think one step ahead, you're like a lot, you're like more advanced than other people are, unfortunately, because they can't even make that one step. You feel me? But like, just think about what you do a little bit and just like have some common decency and don't be a criminal. Okay? Seriously? I'm not even going to tell you to do the right thing, just so much as that I'm going to tell you not to be a criminal. So, I mean, can you follow that standard? I've tried to set it a little bit lower. You don't even have to be a good and kind person. Just don't exploit people. Don't criminalize them. Don't try and make their experience worse than what it already may be. Because it's people like you that are directly responsible. Like, we can handle corporations. We're supposed to be able to handle governing ourselves, all of these things, right? I mean, we live in a democratic republic. I know that blows some people's minds out there, but, I mean, including the Republicans who are trying to already say that the election has been stolen when they haven't even lost yet. I mean, God, Republicans, can you, like, think of anything other than crazy post World War II, not anti, because then you wouldn't be that, but like this doctrine of just fear mongering. Like, we're not stupid, right? I mean, we're not boomers, are we? Like, let's not make those decisions, you know what I mean? Like, let's think one step ahead and let's choose to change our world instead of trying to change our own individual experience by stealing from other people. Seriously. Seriously. I hope that you guys have a really good night. And again, on the record, it's going down. I'm just a normal guy trying to get through my day. And I don't very much appreciate, like, I've never in my life, never would I. I mean, I've done some interesting things, but trust me, there is no ounce of energy ever in me dedicated to scamming, lying, or being a criminal. You feel me? Like, I don't even really know what I'm going to eat for dinner most nights. I mean, I keep my life interesting. You feel me? I don't know. It's way too much stuff for me to think about. I hope that you guys have a really good night. Thank you for joining me on my channel. And again, you guys stay safe out there, okay? And don't be stupid like I do. Definitely check before you give people your personal information on any website at any time ever. And here's also some more sound advice. Don't say anything on the internet that you wouldn't say in real life. You feel me? So, like, if you're a scammer and you're a criminal and, like, like, you act like you're a decent person, like, who knows? The person who could have scammed me today could have been just your regular working normal average Joe. You feel me? But yet, like, their side hustle is, like, scamming people. Like, hey, what's your email? What's your Zelle? Can I send you $500? You send me $600 back and you can keep the difference. Like, seriously? Seriously, boomers, leave already. Like, just stop. Just stop. And also, thrift stores smell like garbage cans. I hope that you guys have a really good night. And hey, it's not the product that's in there. It's mostly the well-to-do people who, like, don't shower and drive $50,000 cars just so they can go to the local thrift store and hoard more things. I just, that sounds weird because it's a weird thing, but it really happens. So we should all be a little bit more mindful as to how we carry ourselves in the real world. And this is coming from the guy who carried a rocking chair home about a quarter mile in broad daylight. I know my boundaries. I know what's acceptable, and what's not acceptable is trying to scam people. So be better. Get a job. Don't get a job. Don't, seriously. That's not just do something. Do anything else other than harm people, okay? Seriously, like anything at all. Just don't harm people. Like, how hard is that? How hard is that to do? It must be real hard because there's people all over the world that, in this country, I know, that are just bent on making your life a worse experience. And I'm not okay with that. So, you guys have a really good night, okay? Bye.